Alright guys, so today I'm trying to address the P0440 check engine light code. It's for the emission failure evap, and so I bought this check valve, it's fuel check valve from Toyota. They're like 10-20 bucks I think, and then along with the gasket and the sealant. So before I start, I watched some video on YouTube where this guy was doing the exact same thing but on a Corolla. So he did everything underneath, but I'm trying to be lazy and access from the top. It seems doable. I can see where the valve is. However, it's got a metal shield on top of it. It's covered up, and you basically have to push it and pull it and pry it out of the way before you can get to the valve. So once you get it loose, you can basically have access to the valve and you can pull it off. But I think it takes a lot of force to remove the shield and also to pull the valve out. So I think being lazy is not an option. So I'm going to give up from the top and basically access from the bottom. As you can see, the car is already on jack stand and it should be high enough. So let me crawl underneath the car and see how many bolts and what's in the way. Alright, so right underneath my car, as you can see, this is my oil filter, and next to it is the oil pan, and right next to it you see this is the gas tank, and there's the first nut or bolt that I see. Here's the second one. These two are really easy to access, but then there's two others on the back side where you see right there. There are some tubings, I believe they are AC lines that are in the way, and as well as this one right here, there's like another rubbery hose that is in the way, so you just have to push them out of the way, I guess. And so right now I already have the a jack holding up the gas tank in case it falls upon losing the bolt. So these are 12mm bolts, and I'm using a electric impact gun to get them out, and they come out really easily. So like I said, the first two are on the front side is pretty easy. I'm gonna be dropping it I'm gonna only drop one side first, which is the passenger side, because I don't think the whole thing's gonna come out straight down. It's gonna drop on one side, so I'm gonna lose the bolt for the passenger side and completely, and I'm gonna lose the driver side ones, the front and the back ones, slightly loose, just enough so there's room for the tank to drop. Like I said, the bolts on the back side, either the driver side or the passenger side, you just have to carefully push the AC line out of the way, and you will have enough room once you push it slightly out of the way. So I found that there are more AC line could be in the way, avoiding the tank to drop. So I'm gonna remove this bracket and see if it will help. So it helps just so slightly, but I mean, I can still try and work it some more. Maybe I have to, on the downstream or upstream of the line, I can remove some more mounting bracket. But I feel like the tank dropped already a fair amount, so from this point on, I move back up onto the top and right behind the passenger seat, and from the fill tank pump, or from the fill pump side, you can see that I can clearly see the shield exposed. So I tried using a screwdriver, a flathead, and just kind of knock it and try to stick it into the gap and push it and ended up just kind of wiggle it with my hand, and I was able to get the shield off quite easily, and nothing is bent. So unlike the guy that I watched on YouTube, where he had to basically bend some of the metal back straight in order to get the shield out of the way. So as you can see, now that I can see the check valve, I see the two connection. One should be fairly easy to get out. It's just one of those pinch. You just have to pinch that clip and slide out the way. But the other one looks like it could be trouble. It's one of those field line clipping. So I try removing the smaller hose first, because it's easier to get it out just with a plier, and clamp it together and pull it out of the way. And I wasn't able to work the field line off the check valve, so I figured I'm better off just pull the check valve out of the fuel tank, and to gain more room, to perhaps I can both hands on it and pull it off. And to pull the check valve out, I use a plier and basically use it the opposite purpose of a plier. Instead of crimping it together, I close the plier and use the sharp end and stick it into the gap between the check valve and the gas tank, and then pry it open instead of close, and basically expanding the plier and to create a gap between the gas tank and the check valve. And eventually it loosened up, and I am able to use my hand and pull the whole thing off. So once I got the check valve out, I tried squeezing it. I tried many ways. There's still a limited access with my hands in there, so there's only so much I can try with the check valve still sitting inside or underneath the firewall. So what I ended up doing was kind of squeeze the check valve out from the canister side, and now that you can see the clip and the clip position, it's more exposed, and I can actually use tools, and I use this sharp pick and hook tools to basically I found the position where the clip is hooked and stuck against the check valve. So I hook onto it and basically just pull and yank it back and forth, and it finally pop off. So here's a closer look to the field line connector. I'm not sure if there's a better way to take this out. This may be a common connector, but I'm not familiar with it. I somehow got it off. I wish there is a better way. This is probably the part that took the longest, and if I were to do this job again, hopefully I never have to, but it's probably gonna take me 40 minutes, within an hour I can get this done if this connector is not gonna give me any trouble like I did this time. So putting it back together, it's straightforward, but first I used the sealant lubrication to basically apply it on the gasket, and all the parts that's gonna touch the gas tank and all around basically. And as you can see, that old gaskets is indeed, there is a couple of cracks there, so hopefully these are the indication that obviously the gasket was leaking, and which is causing the evap light to come on. So I'm actually glad to see there is actual damage to the gasket. I mean, I rather see obvious problem to be resolved than to find that it's perfectly good condition, and I have to basically look somewhere else to address the P0440. So hopefully, if you have to, well, hopefully you don't have to do this, but if you do, hopefully this video helps you. And I'm gonna wait till my exhaust is parked. I gotta swap out my my catless downpipe for smoke. So after I've done that, I will start up the car and drive it around. Hopefully, I probably need to get a temporary registration because it's currently registered non-op. So I'll drive it around, and hopefully the light goes away, and I will update you guys on the next video. And until then, I will see you next time. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Let me know how to get that connector off easier. So thank you. See you next time.